Hey everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome back to Black. Today, we're actually going to be going through one of my more favored levels of this game. It's got some large areas, it's got some nice tight corridors.
2-1 RV at the main plant.
Copy that.
It's overall a pretty good level, so let's enjoy it. It's also fairly long and pretty involved. And there's a lot of stuff to blow up. Oh man, do they like making you blow stuff up in this level. As you can see here, from all of the red barrels that have ever existed being in spot. Now, I'm trying to find the silencer for this G36. It's around here somewhere, I promise. I think it's actually up in the next area. Hi. Stealth, stealth in this game is... Everything explodes. It's great. Oh. Now, one of the interesting things about the way this game works is that essentially when enemies are far enough away, fighting them unless they have a distance weapon doesn't actually make any sense. Like, I could shoot at the guys way up the hill, but I should prioritize the guys who are right here next to me while I'm down here. Oh, well, I didn't even need to shoot at that. Did not want that car to blow up. See what I mean? Like, shooting at that guy up there, or this guy over here, it's a crapshoot. Or, well, prove me wrong. But shooting at the guys who are right next to you makes total sense because you can be more accurate with your shots. And the guys at a distance who are hitting me now aren't doing that much damage because they can't be that accurate. I mean, you look at their shot-to-hit ratio with even that distance, really low. I mean, these guys are using rifles just like me. You can see there, it took a lot of hits to kill that guy. And their health works differently than mine. Even at this range, you can see here, like, I'm still not hitting 100% in the head. Even if I'm aiming at it. Now, good to point out about these guys that you're seeing here. These are your standard enemies for most of the rest of the game. These guys all have armor. And of course, our shotgun friend with the tracksuit here, he's not going to go anywhere for the rest of the game. He is going to be with us from start to finish. We're going to switch this pistol out. I don't have much need for it. And just make sure that I'm picking up all the ammo. Oh, shot at it. Look at these guys. Ooh, part of that guy was actually in range. See that? Let's, see if we can't take a couple of hits off him. Got him. Yes, I did just go on an impassioned speech about how you don't really need to do that. Or shouldn't do that, but, like, I have tons of ammo. I have 70 rounds in this gun. And I have the space to work on them with. They just aren't as accurate, so it doesn't make sense for them to keep shooting me. But it makes sense for me to shoot them. One of the neat parts about this level is that if I had used the pistol to cut through some of these guys, I would have actually been able to stealth my way up the hill. But, because I didn't, I get to fight. Physics. Yeah, at a time where a lot of these sorts of games didn't have real physics. Fuck. Ooh, I almost got stuck there. Reminds me to save. I get very stuck in my my concepts of how this game works based on like current games where like saving's automatic in a lot of cases and you don't really save state to begin with. I really have to get out of that habit because I almost got stuck on some things a couple of times now. And, that would be frustrating to have to go back and do things over again. You can see from where I am right now, I'm actually on one of two paths that's available through this area. I prefer this higher path because if you go down on the lower path, you don't really have as much cover when you come out here. If you want to take a look at it. Like, you come up through there and there's just like guys firing on you from over here, and it's a whole thing. I was trying to remember if that was explodable.
Taking fire!
But you can see I can actually hang out a little bit over here and have most of the bullets that these guys are firing at me just get absorbed by this bridge I'm on. So it's a pretty good spot. If I ducked, I would be 100% invincible to certain guys. But not worried about that right now. I have half health. Not ideal, but better than, you know, a quarter health or something like that. Okay, let's see. Grenades. You do want those grenades. So yeah, this is just the area I kind of skipped out on. Coming back to this. I think guys will actually drop through this if you come up here the first time. Like, that's where these guys that were down here spawn from. My other issue with coming down this way is actually that I think I'm going to have to fight a shotgun guy face on now. What are you doing? How'd you get back there? I heard him firing on me, I just couldn't quite understand where from. Let's take this. Oh, fuck it. What a dumbass. Yeah, so that is pretty much how... Oops, did not mean to shoot that. Wanted those grenades, though. So yeah, you could also use this as kind of an area to assault these guys from, but why? Whoa. I think there's still a guy behind me. Just takes a lot. So these are the new standard enemies that I've mentioned before. What I should tell you about them is that they are armored. So body shots are way less viable starting now. That should be fine because my MO is generally to aim for the head no matter what. I wish...
2-1, can you see smoke or any chimneys?
There they are.
Copy that, 2-1. I have visual. Smoke 12 o'clock.
This is actually a neat little segment coming up. Let's take a chance to save it. So, ledge of no return right here. Whoop.
You're out of position. Do you copy? You are out of position. You're approaching a minefield. You do not have time to bypass. Advance and watch for tripwires. Bravo 3, detonate the mines with your weapon before advancing.
Alright, so yeah, we're right at the edge of a minefield. You can see these little discs on the ground. So what you want to do here, I don't know why I really ducked. You don't get any aiming benefits from it as far as I know. But you want to blow everything up. This is why this area is kind of neat, because it does give you a lot of destruction options, exploding options, and so on. Now, like I said, the armored guys are going to be your stock enemy for the rest of the game. But you've seen now 2 non-armored guys in this area. The guys with the brown leather jackets, that is. Will you stay still? I don't want to go out into this minefield because these guys will absolutely shoot. They don't do it on purpose, mind you, but if you're anywhere near them, they will just, like, hit them because they're stormtrooper aiming. So that's what makes this kind of neat. They will run into those mines too. Their AI does not stop them from doing that on the way to cover, wherever that may be. So you can kind of rely on them taking at least one of their own guys every now and again. Let's pick up the suppressor. That's what I like to see. Now, the suppressor here I mean, yeah, shoot from this platform that's on top of a fucking explodable tank. That's smart. That's just smart. You can hear the suppressors. Doesn't make this gun sound very impressive. Well, that didn't do what I wanted, but it did a lot. Let's see. I don't think it does anything different. Wow, okay. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe ducking does actually make the gun better. Something to consider going forward. Let's mosey over here real quick, just to make sure I'm not missing anything in these corners. Should be all set. Yes, good, good. There's really nothing over here to be worthwhile, but always worth checking, because sometimes the game will... There's secret weapons in every level that you can find, and I'm generally pretty bad about finding them. So, making a little bit more concerted effort to check all the corners when I can. People will spawn from this area, but those explosions are a little bit too big for me to really tempt. Plus, very luckily, these mines are generally lined up in a spot where shooting one will take out several. It's kind of neat, the domino effect on the mines. You can basically shoot a mine that's like near you and then take out a guy who's, 30 meters away. Gonna want these. Oh, full-on hand grenades. That's good news. Just as a rule, I like to be as full-on hand grenades as possible in this game. They're damned useful. Okay, not worried about that mine. These two I am worried about, but... Hey, more easy kill guys. It's, yeah. Explosions in this game, as you can see, are a little bit difficult to gauge sometimes. Like, these mines are a great example of that. Like, I can never quite tell how far away that explosion's gonna hurt somebody. And grenades are another good example. They seem to have a much larger radius that isn't animated by the explosion. And I guess you could chalk that up to like shrapnel effects or something like that if you wanted to get realistic about it, but I don't think the game thinks that far ahead. Let's take this guy out, and I swear those are explodable. Yeah, see? There. Perfect. Stepping on a mine, by the way, is instant death. So if you see me be a little cautious around the areas where I know there are mines, that's why. Good. Health at full. I was really hoping that this door would get knocked over by that explosion. Yeah, one less thing for me to worry about. Let's take another second to save. I didn't actually make a secondary save at the start of this level, so the furthest back I can go if this recording screws up is, well, no, it's saved to the memory card, so I could pull that up. But yeah, annoying. I try to use just save states for this LP. Let's see if we can't force these guys to spawn before I blow up a mine. Because we're almost out of the minefield. I was hoping to maybe use one of these against them. But I guess not. I mean, you saw how it works. You don't need to see too much of it. Now, mines are something that, while they're big there, they do not appear a bunch through the rest of the game. So... Ah, you kidding me.
I got an RPG!
You can either fire on them with my G36 or my shotgun, so I'm gonna go with the G36. Worked out. Right, I wouldn't expect that explosion to have taken out that many people, but here we are. Worked out pretty well, I think. We're actually getting to a almost good stopping point where the level sort of transitions a little bit. It's one of the nice things about this game. You are very much on rails, so to speak. There's some open areas like the one we just traversed through where it's a little bit wider, and I mean the spot at the beginning of the level where you actually had a choice of which way to go. Those are kind of rare, but still nice to see. No, don't get stuck on that. However, this level does a little bit of switching up terrain and environments as much as this game can. And that's really nice. I like that. Do I want to save here? Yeah, I'm going to save here. Just in case. I know I have a safe spot just a few seconds back, but that is only a few seconds back. Not a shootable door. I always think it is. I remember doing that on my practice run too, just looking at it going like, that's gotta be something I can shoot. Full on pistol ammo, because I didn't use the damn thing. I think you get like maybe 2 or 3 pistols assigned to you throughout the entire game.
This is 2-1. Hostiles advancing on your location. I will provide sniper overwatch on your advance.
Alright. So McCarver is going to be sniping for us. That just means that she'll take out some scripted enemies. So don't rely on her. It's just not a great move. Instead, you're going to want to be shooting everyone you see because, like, the big hitter enemies, like the RPG guys, she won't shoot them. She just, those are not scripted to be taken out by her. So you've got to rely on yourself for those.
Enemy on your point!
So yeah, you heard McCarver fire. She's not shooting anymore. She won't shoot until the next scripted to die enemy comes around. This area is probably one of the most complex of the game.
Enemy in cover. I have the shot. Firing. I got him!
Wow, you got one guy. Why don't you come down here and see how many I've killed so far? I just walked through a minefield.
Die!
One of the things I do not like about this game is how, and I've mentioned it before, but the red dotto death there just isn't an accurate depiction of what's able to be hit. What? You saw that, right? Those guys did not exist there. I think because you're not supposed to shoot through that, you're supposed to actually have gone around to spawn them in. So I think I just triggered something a little later than expected. Or a little before. Alright. Carver gets her kill. So she's not broken yet. Okay, just get shot in the head enough times to die. Thank you. So the objective is actually to get, like, let me show you this. See that spot over there? No, bad. The 10 building, that is our ultimate objective. And to get there, we have to go through all of these other buildings. And it's a long process. And it's one of the things I really like about how this game is set up. Like, they're not going to make it straightforward for you. They're going to use their environment, and they're going to give you this area to traverse.
That window!
I don't love the, hey, shoot out that window kind of comments from my guy. whose name I have forgotten because he is nobody to me. Because it's like, those are not helpful callouts. They're just not. Sometimes when you have a game like this where you're largely on your own, the way things will be called out to you about where enemies are, especially if you have no radar like this game does, is that some character, yourself or one of your allies, will, on a radio, will say something like, "Oh, hey, there's a guy in the next room." You think of the Call of Duty principle, like, "Oh, there's two on your left. I'm watching you from a Predator," or something. In this game,
Everywhere, I need support.
yeah, it's lines like, "They're everywhere. I need support," and you spend like 10 minutes trying to figure out where everywhere is. Or they'll say something very generic, like, he's on the catwalk, and it's a room of like 4 catwalks. Hi, no, not dealing with it, thanks. Okay, need a moment to just load that. I know that with 70 rounds, I have plenty of ammo to have taken these guys out too. But why would I risk like another shotgun guy coming into the room? I need to reload the shotgun too. Good reminder there. Oh, whoop. I have started a fire. I don't know how. But you can see these guys have SMGs. So... Wait, does he have a G36? Sorry. I'm very used to the brown leather jacket guys having SMGs. I'll have to go check. Generally, all the enemies in a level, when they're not like a specialty class like the shotgun guys, will all carry the exact same gun. You'll occasionally have your heavy machine gun guys later in the game and so on that will carry something different, but yeah, for the most part there is no diversity of enemy weapons. This standing out in the open and just burst or firing like a crazy person, this shit only really works in like this section of the game. And so here's the G36 fire selection motion. I am missing every shot. Fuck this. Should have got 2 of them there. Doing okay. Oh, I thought I took his head right off. I would have been okay with that. One of the things that drives me a little nuts about this game is the railings are actually real physical objects. And by that I mean they will block bullets. And enemies actually consider the crossbar on these railings to be some sort of cover, and it works like a large percentage of the time because they line their heads up basically dead on with the railing. So hitting them requires them to stand up, or you to get an angle on them, or you to stand them up by shooting them. Something. Not ideal, but, you know, not as bad as I make it sound. Just checking real quick to make sure I'm not leaving anything behind. Picked up the shotgun ammo. I need to reload this before I get caught on the surface. Nice, good. Stairs are like your mortal enemy. Like, you'll get caught on stairs and ramps more than like random poles or anything like that, like I did in the first episode. Alright, good. I like having full everything. Old Soviet era propaganda, nice to see. It wouldn't be a game set in Eastern Europe without some Soviet propaganda, you know? Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Next time, we should be able to finish this. It might be a longer one because of that. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you then.